We're back with Commander of Troops, Rabbi Rob Thomas. But before we go down and talk about his collection of great armored vehicles in this segment, we got to talk just a little bit about what we saw in the battle, in the reenactment. You know, Rob, I tell you what, walk us through just a little bit about that tremendous battle that we saw today, because it's fantastic. You guys do such a great job.
Thank you very much. So what we try to do is recreate the tactics of the time. What you saw was combined arms at its finest. The infantry leads the way, they make the breakthrough, they find contact, they then call in the armor to clean up the mess. We're always cleaning up the mess. Once we take the position, they then move forward and repeat. It's exactly how they did it in World War II. It's exactly how we trained to do it. And so when people see us, they see a historically accurate representation of the time.
Well, Rob, you know, I will just tell you, my hat's off to you guys, okay? But, you know, I've got to talk about your collection, okay? And I've got to talk about your passion. And I know, thank you again for your service to our country. But I have to ask this loaded question. How does a guy from the Navy get into armor, okay? Give me a little bit of background about you and this passion that you've come to grow into.
So I joined the Navy as hospital corpsman, thought I'd be in air-conditioned hospitals, and they sent me to be with the Marines. Once you get the green in your blood, you never lose it, do you? And so I decided I wanted to have a World War II Thompson. Once I had the Thompson, I knew I had to have a Jeep. Once I had a Jeep, I knew I needed to have a heavy machine gun. And you know, the long and short of it, Bob, is I have the world's most patient and understanding wife.
You know, I have one of those too, okay? My collection is not as vast as yours, but what I get away with is probably all I'm going to do. But listen, let's talk armor now, okay? Because again, armor during World War II was just one of those significant historical pieces of equipment. You know, at the front end of the war, we really weren't prepared for what we were about to see in North Africa, as you well know. But this has turned out to be, I know, a passion that you have and a big part of your reenactments. Let's talk about it, and we'll just go down the line.
Certainly.
Let's talk about your collection here.
So what we have here is a M5 Stuart. This one actually began as a high-speed tractor. It did see action in World War II, but as a tractor. The previous owner then made a replica M5 Stuart out of that chassis.
Oh, wow.
The M5 Stuart was a reconnaissance tank. It was a light tank, very light gun, and its job was to figure out where the enemy was and let the bigger boys know so they could take care of it.
So he would shoot and run back and say, hey.
Shoot and scoot.
There you go. Okay. Well, let's talk the next one here that we saw today.
This is the M18 Hellcat Gun Motor Carriage Tank Destroyer. This is the fastest tracked vehicle ever made. It will beat an Abrams. In World War II, in a test track, it was clocked at 74 miles an hour. It regularly hit 50 miles an hour out in the field. This is a tank destroyer. Its job is to find the German armor, or listen to the Stuart tell us where it is, and take it out. Later in the war, it was used as an infantry support tank because it had an excellent gun for that purpose, very high speed. It's very lightly armored, but then it was never supposed to go up against the armor directly. It's supposed to sit back, shoot and scoot like a sniper.
Well, look, before we go on to see the rest of these folks, okay, as a collector, where did you find this stuff, okay? I mean, and not revealing any secrets, but I mean, this is not for the weak-hearted here, nor light pocketbook either, because I mean, this is a big deal.
These are rare and they are expensive. I will tell you right now, if you're thinking about getting into collecting these, the price you pay after you buy it is the higher price. It takes a lot to keep these running. It takes a lot to find one that is already running, or at least running enough. When we get them, there's usually 6 to 12 things seriously wrong with them. We then bring them back up in our shop so that they're ready for the field. Our goal is that they operate as they would have operated in World War II. So they do all the things they could do in World War II and nothing shy of it.
So you don't swap out the power packs, and so you try to keep the original engines and all those main components.
Everything you see is original and fully functional.
Now, finding these here in the United States, overseas, or just all around the world?
All around the world. I've bought about half in the United States and the other half I've bought overseas. It's mostly other collectors getting out of the business, your onesie twosies or even large collections.
Wow.
It's a small community, as you can imagine.
It is.
So they'll ring me up and say, hey Rabbi, I'm thinking of selling my Sherman tank, and then off it goes from there.
Oh my goodness. Well, we got to get down to the next one. Okay, now this is yours. You must be partial to this one, because again, this is the Commander's track. Okay.
This is the Commander's track. This is my favorite in the collection. This is an M4A1 Sherman Tank. It is the main tank of World War II for all the Allied forces, frankly. It's an excellent tank. It gets besmirched a little bit, and I find that personally offensive, so I'm going to tell you a couple key things. First off, at the end of the war, the kill ratio between German and American armor was 2.75 to 1. For every one American tank or tank destroyer lost in the war, the Germans lost 2.75.
Right.
When one of these was hit, on average, 1.1 crewmen became a casualty, and of course that's tragic. The Germans lost crew at 8 times that rate. This was a survivable tank. It was a reliable tank. It was operational 89.6% of the time. The Germans' best was 60%.
Well, you know, Rob, again, I know you're partial to this vehicle here because you look great. I mean, just like a commander ought to be. That's right. You know, one of the things that's key about collecting is, again, the family that you create, and you've got a wonderful family. This whole team here, I know you're just so proud of them, okay, and they're all volunteers, but my hat's off to you on this armor collection, okay?
Thank you very much.
Well,